Suck my balls, cow. No! No, he has to suck my balls!
You like to suck my balls, don't deny it.
Oh, suck my balls, you ginger Jew rat hall monitor! Punk-ass stoolie, who the f*** do you think you are? Suck my balls, K-10. That's right, suck my Canadian balls! Suck my balls! No, you suck my balls! Thanks, everybody. Suck my balls! Yeah, whatever, you can suck our balls. Suck my balls, 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 suck my balls.
How would you children like to suck on my chocolate salty balls?
Oh, you mean like a chocolate candy?
No, I mean my balls.
Yes. Yes!
Ladies and gentlemen, that's right. We are back. Suck my balls. Suck my balls. Suck my balls. Suck my balls. A South Park review. A South Park review. A South Park review. I'm your host in the heat. I can't be beat. I'm your guy who's high because the temperature is clearly so high. Your boy, MS to the G. We're back. Talk some more South Park with you, and I am not alone because each and every week I'm back with more people, and we've got opinions. We've got reviews. There's no fucking blue, but we'll give you the clues. And by God, we won't take off and leave for college and leave you. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. And I'm joined each and every week by the doctor of thugonomics, punkonomics, hydrophonics, and polyphonics. That's right, he does the little ringtones like we used to have back in the 90s and late 2000s. As you're hearing like these, this would be his ringtone. Joe made this, actually. He's the creator of it. Ladies and gentlemen, he's not the creator of it. Ladies and gentlemen, he's a promoter. He's a wrestling connoisseur. He's also sponsored by the BigBoysClub.com as well. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to his podcast. The Doctor is in Double JV.
I completely forgot what the fuck I was going to say. You had something in the beginning of that lead in, and I'm like, oh, this is going to... And then, like,
I said the Doctor of Punkonomics, Funkonomics, hydrophonics, and polyphonics, like the little ringtones we used to get.
Right. Oh, yeah. No, okay, so my ringtone was not this song. It was actually... I figured out, you know the song Area Codes by Ludacris? I've got hoes.
I've got hoes.
I figured out what tones. 3, 5, 3. Anyway. I figured out what tones to do on like the create your own ringtone shit, and yeah, that was my phone.
Anyway, that's pretty cool. My first ringtone that I ever actually bought was a bad purchase, but I pretended I loved it. It was Linkin Park's One Step Closer to the End. It's a great song, but on a ringtone when it first came out, it ended up basically becoming my alarm because through polytonic, it was like, na 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 na. And I was like, all right, well, that's my fucking alarm. Like, that's fucking... Yeah, so like, and then like I eventually got Breaking the Habit, which was a better one as far as a ringtone because it had dips and lows and peaks and valleys as far as the sounds that were delivered through your ear holes. Anyway, you want some sound delivered to your ear hole today, and we're going to talk to you about South Park, Season 9, Episode number 2. Quite frankly, I must say, it's actually, we have hit a top 10 episode for me, personally. I'm going to tell you right off the bat. Die Hippie Die is one of my favorite episodes of South Park because I just love Eric Cartman in this episode. This is like the epitome of people going, fuck, we should have listened to Eric Cartman. When Eric Cartman finally gets one over on people, you're very satisfied as an Eric Cartman fan. I really love how Eric Cartman is just a full-fledged villain, but also at the same time, he's not a villain because what he ends up saying is correct. But let's get into the episode, as this is Season 9, Episode number 2, Die Hippie Die. I'll go ahead and start this episode, Joe.
Yeah.
Die Hippie Die, ladies and gentlemen, is the second episode of Season 9 and the 127th overall episode of South Park. And guess what, guys? We hit another milestone. Episode number 130. We have reviewed now so far prior and now today 131 130 episodes in order on your podcast ear holes and listening pleasure. Listening pleasure. Subscribe to Suck My Balls, a South Park review on Spotify, Apple's, iTunes, anywhere you want to download a podcast. Just type that in, subscribe to our feed. You'll get the latest, greatest episode each and every week. You can also listen to us on YouTube and go back and watch some videos or any of our library. It's all there. Suck My Balls, South Park review. See, I don't even have to talk anymore. I can just click the button and do myself. So there you go. Let's talk about Die Hippie Die, season 9, episode number 2. So this episode is a very funny episode. It's got some elements here that I think that both sides make good arguments on, which is why it's really comical. But at the same time, it's really showcases Eric Cartman knows everything about hippies. He's trying to keep hippies since he was 5 years old. He can't do it himself anymore. So here's how the episode opens up. It opens up with the hippies. Well, here's the synopsis, I should say. The hippies are starting drum circles, and they start popping up all over town in South Park. And they start popping up in attics, backyards. Some guy falls out of plywood or the actual wall itself.
Yeah, he falls out of the drywall. Yeah,
drywall. There you go. He falls out of the drywall, right? And then the citizens are going to end up having no choice but to turn to Eric Cartman for help. Now, you may say, oh, well, that's interesting. They'll go to Eric Cartman help. But in a twist of things, they are the ones that put themselves in this position. And here's why. So the episode starts off, Eric Cartman. He kind of looks like what you might say, I don't want to say a ripoff of Dale Gribble, but he definitely has that bug spray, termite, pest control outfit on, right? But he's wearing like an orange jumpsuit, I want to say. Or some form of orange. He's got, the spray bottle and whatnot. And he knocks on the doorstep of an elderly woman. And she opens the door and he tells her that she might have an infestation of hippies. And according to him, the number of hippies residing in South Park have been on the rise. And not only that, Cartman, being, of course, the avid hater of hippies, is determined to stop them. So he finds in multiple places in her house giggling stoners in the attic, which I thought that was just interesting that the stoner just ended up in this lady's attic, and a drum circle in the backyard. But I get it. Once the drum circle started in the backyard, those hippies probably wanted to use her bathroom or something and ended up in the attic, because that's sometimes what happens when you're a stoner. And then she proceeds, and then of course Eric is going to proceed to round them up and lock lock her and him, all the hippies, or non-binary, I don't know, into his basement, where he has imprisoned dozens and dozens of hippies. Even like right at the beginning of the episode, he's like, the hippies were trying to get out. Now, I know that Eric Cartman had some mace, Joe, but there was 50 or 60 hippies in there. I mean, if it had been me or you, I think we would have taken it for the team. One of us would have done it. I would have been like, bro, let's just bum rush this fucking little kid. Let's just go. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. Like,
there's 60 of them. I can't, even if you're all stoned, like, there's would have been that one stoner in there that would have been too claustrophobic to be like, fuck this. I'm not going to be in here anymore.
Right. There would have been either that, or there would have been that one like slightly militant hippie, like that's like, nah, man, I know that we're all about peace and everything, but sometimes we gotta be violent to get the fuck out of this.
Sometimes, like, it's like Bob Marley said, rebel music makes you feel so fine. But it's rebel music. It's rebelling against the system, bro. You gotta rebel against that little Eichmann right there, dude, who's holding you back right now, dude.
Get up, stand up for your
right in these concrete jungles. Anyway, so here's how the episode progresses. So Stan, Kyle, and Kenny are outside asking passerbys to maybe purchase in their fundraiser, as kids do, magazines in this case. I'm sure you, the listener, may have experienced some sort of chocolate, some sort of Christmas card, Girl Scouts, popcorn, whatever it is, some sort of school drive where kids are selling shit, and or whatever it is. so that way they can win prizes. So in this case, the kids are selling magazines so that way I guess it can help support the children of South Park. And along comes across this group of college know-it-all hippies who tell the kids that they have been tricked into selling themselves out to corporations, Joe. Look, we just got back from our first semester at community college, and we know everything now. Hang out with us long enough, and you're gonna understand how the world works. All right, so let's go ahead and here. We'll jump into some clips here, so that way you guys, the listeners, can also appreciate what we have come to enjoy here with this episode.
Yeah, they've been popping up all over the neighborhood lately. Miss Nelson next door had 7 hippies in her basement, and they usually live in colonies. I don't like the sound of that. Could I take a look in your attic? Oh, yeah, boy. Here, take a look at this, man. You see that? Hippies.
Oh, my.
These are what we call the giggling stoners. Pretty common form of hippie, usually found in the attics.
Just sit there laughing.
Problem is, if you see one hippie, there's probably a whole lot more you're not seeing. Where's the backyard?
I would be the
Yeah,
giggling
that's what I
stoner.
thought. See that? You've got a drum circle in your backyard.
Yeah, backyard.
Oh, well, they
This is where you'd find Joe.
years ago, but I didn't think they were hurting anything.
Joe would be the drum
Yeah,
circle.
I had a guy in Jackson County.
Singing
He had a little
Kumbaya
drum
and
circle in
shit.
his backyard, turned into a drum circle 4 miles in diameter. You get a few hippies playing drums, and the next thing you know, you got yourself a colony.
Oh, dear. Oh, well, so what do I do?
Well, your attic hippies, we can probably fumigate with polymerthane. Your drum circle, we're gonna have to gas.
Oh, here comes an advertisement.
Damn it.
Oh no, I've got it.
I'm so high.
Goddamn hippie!
Whoa, dude,
Get outta here!
not cool. What's up?
Ma'am, I need to clear out your giggling stoners and your drum circle hippies right now, or soon they're gonna attract something much worse.
What's that?
The college know-it-all hippies.
And unfortunately, here they come. University of Colorado at Boulder.
Wow, my friend Brittany was right. This is
Wow.
a really laid-back place.
Yeah, this will be a great place to spend spring break.
Excuse me. Hello, we're selling magazine subscriptions for our community youth program. Would you like to help young people like us by purchasing a subscription of your choice?
Oh, wow, you guys shouldn't be doing that. Don't you know what you're doing to the world?
Well, what do you mean?
You're playing into the corporate game. See, the corporations are trying to turn you into little Eichmanns so that they can make money.
They can make
Who are the corporations?
The corporations run the entire world, and now they fooled you into working for them.
Yep.
Are you serious? We never heard that.
We just spent our first semester at
We just
college.
spent our first-
Professors opened our eyes.
Professors.
The government is using its corporate ties to make you sell magazines so they can get rich.
Those dirty liars!
This is a really nice town you have here. That's why the corporations are trying to use you to take it down.
Well, what do we do?
Just hang with us for a bit. We'll fill you in on everything.
Okay, so first off, let's get the positive stuff out of the way. Positive stuff: the chick having a fish shirt on. Thank you, South Park, Matt and Trey
Yeah.
Parker. Chef's kiss.
So
Go ahead.
I have not noticed this before now, but those are mushrooms in that dude's bag that he's eating the whole time.
Interesting.
You go back, you can totally tell that. I'm like, wait a minute, those are totally caps, bro.
Oh, no cap. Those are caps. Look at that.
Yeah.
We're using lingo now. Yeah, no cap. Those are caps. Actually, that's crazy.
Yeah, right.
So he's just tripping the whole time, but dude.
Yeah. So
Tripping
his
on
eyes,
shrooms.
his eyes really were opened, apparently.
Oh man, I'm a little wild, a little wired up here today. Another edition of Check My Balls. So as you heard, the college know-it-all hippies tell the kids they've been tricked into selling themselves out to corporations who wish to get rich off the kids and rule the world. Infuriated by this claim, the boys adopt the hippies' ideology and want to know how they can stop the corporations. As you heard, the hippies then suggest hosting a week-long music festival is what they're going to come to, where they will gather together and change the world through the power of music. Joe, first off, do you have any comments on the alleged corporations using these children to make profit?
I'm not going to comment on it other than the fact that every fundraiser you did, I was privy to selling other than Girl Scout cookies. Obviously, I didn't sell those, but I mean, it's the college kid isn't wrong, but that's also a super elementary way of looking at it and everything. So like because you start getting into a much deeper rabbit hole of, well, why do schools need fundraisers anyway if they're supposed to be publicly funded?
But schools don't get a lot of public
But
funds, because if
schools
they
don't
did,
get
teachers were getting paid better. Yeah.
and you start going down that rabbit hole and everything. So instead of saying that school fundraisers and corporations profiting off children is the problem, I'm gonna say it's a symptom and not necessarily the illness.
Mm, mm, mm. I would agree. I think it's what I find comical in the sense, as far as you're right? Because like what they're saying is very elementary in regards, very sound bites, right? Is what you were going. Maybe it might be.
Oh yeah, no, totally. It's totally subjective.
Yeah, totally subjective, and yeah, I would say that. But on the flip side, it's funny because they diminish the notion of where the information is coming from, because it's coming from a college stoner hippie who's like, well, spent like one semester at community college and now the professors have really opened my eyes, Joe.
Right, and they know they have that influence over some second grade or fourth graders, excuse me, like that. Like, oh, here are these little kids. We
There's
can
little
like
men.
Yeah.
All right,
we could save them from themselves.
we can save them now so they don't even have to like be misguided. Well, unfortunately, the boys are going to misguidedly tag along and become hippies themselves. All right, so moving forward from there, Cartman, doing his due diligence and his research, being the hippie expert that he is, Joe, decides that he's going to break into City Hall meeting here, and he's going to barge in, and he's going to inform them, look, you can't do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, that if you let all these hippies continue to like show up, a hippie music festival is going to happen, right? And that such a big event would eventually consume the entire town. Like, makes claims that it'll be bigger than Woodstock, Burning Man, and my favorite reference, Reggae on the River. Cartman discovers that, unfortunately, the mayor didn't care, right? She kicks him out, tells the Johnson, get him out of here. Doesn't take him serious. And then Cartman ends up going to discover later on here in this following scene that his friends have now joined up with him, and he gets the confirmation that, as we mentioned, that a music festival is imminent. And then he's arrested for holding all those hippies hostage, Joe.
Yeah. I mean, he's lucky it was just on the state level, because that's a federal crime. That's technically kidnapping. That's
63 people. Like, that. I know, that's like life in prison, bro. That's a culted serial. Like, has that ever happened? A serial kidnapper like that with 6? I'm not saying we haven't seen girls or people kept underground in cults and shit, but 60 people?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up. Like,
you look that up while we start this next clip.
Yeah,
that's a lot. All right, here we go.
Past several days, I've been noticing a steep rise in the number of hippies coming to town. At first, I thought maybe it was just a coincidence. But then I noticed this. 3 new drum circles have sprouted up here, here. They're all growing in diameter at a rate of 2 hippies per hour.
2 hippies per hour.
What this means is that the hippies are conglomerating. They're binding, if you will.
Binding.
I think that they're setting up for a hippie music festival.
Hippie music festival.
A what? It's simple science. Look, when hippies start to nest in a new area, it draws other hippies in. With the right weather conditions, topography, it can lead to a music festival. One that lasts for days, even weeks. Reggae on the River, Woodstock, Burning Man, they would all pale in comparison to what we're looking at now. In my professional opinion, I think we're looking at a full-blown hippie jam fest the size of which we've never seen.
And of course, she, as we mentioned there, she didn't care. So now we jump over to the kids. They're learning about
take their
corporations
and invest it in the war machine while keeping everyone blind.
Right, so how we get back at them? Yeah, we're pissed off.
Well, so my idea was this. Let's have like a week-long music festival. Draw everyone here, and then together we can tear it all down. Whoa, what the hell?
I knew you were trying to have a hippie jam festival. All right, everyone pack up your crap. We're going to my basement.
What are you doing?
Jesus, not you guys. What happened? Were you bit? Did you eat their brownies? Did you eat their brownies? No! Listen, you're my friends, but if you've been compromised, I'll have no problem taking you out.
Yeah,
I'd expect the same from you.
What is your problem? Get lost, little Eichmann.
Racism.
Oh my God!
The hell are you doing?
Everybody get a single file
Yeah,
line.
you're right. They're in the background.
There
Mushrooms.
you are.
Ah, Officer Barbrady, you're just in time. These college know-it-all hippies were setting up for a music festival, just as I'd predicted.
Eric Cartman, you're under arrest.
What?
I was just over at your house and freed 63 people you had locked in your basement.
You let them out? Jesus, we have to find them!
Jesus, we have to find them.
So the closest I could find.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good. I'd like to hear an update. Joe's dun 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 dun.
was-
Joe's got an update.
A 87-year-old man, he's still alive, named John Jamelski. He's actually up for parole in December of this year. He pled guilty to 5 counts of first-degree kidnapping. That's the closest I could find to a serial kidnapper. This was like,
This was America. Huh? Isn't this America? I'm sorry, I thought this was America.
I should be able to kidnap whoever the fuck I want.
Beating off the dog is not appropriate when we have company. I mean, ever. Beating off the dog is not appropriate ever.
Exactly. So, I mean,
God damn it, Randy Marsh. Why are you king shaming? But so it looks like over the span of about 20 years or so, this guy who lived outside Syracuse kidnapped 5 women. Looks like they were ranging between 14 and 53.
anyway, so let's talk about what happened after Eric Cartman was arrested, right? He gets arrested and he's taken to jail. And unfortunately for him, his worst nightmare comes to fruition. A hippie jam festival is coming. And the mayor confirms it as Eric is being held in a cell. And the mayor shows up and Eric's all like, Mayor McDaniels, you know, I confirmed it. The hippie infestation is real and the music festival is happening, right? So when he tells her that, she says, I know. I signed off on the permit. Unfortunately.
You're the sound! You did the sound!
Right, you did the sound! You did the sound! The mayor says that she knows that she signed the permit as she hopes it's going to bring, you know, money into the economy. Cartman's like, they're hippies. They don't have any money. I was like, that's a good point. If you've ever gone to a hippie festival, not a lot of people have money.
No.
Trying to save money. So
It's a lot of bartering.
Cartman is infuriated, claiming that the hippies do not have money. And of course, the mayor has doomed South Park. And now the hippie music festival is going to commence, attracting thousands upon thousands nationwide. Hippies all coming around from around the world, or the United States at least, and joining these other hippies in South Park, Colorado. And they spend the entire event listening to music, getting high, and taking acid. And then Cartman's 3 friends, that being Stan, Kyle, and Kenny, are very confused this whole time, right? Because the hippies don't do anything. They just sit there and get high and do drugs and listen to music. And they want to do something that's more meaningful, obviously, for the world, as the claims of these college kids said that they were going to do so with the outcome of said hippie fest. So they even continue to ask the hippies for details about the plan to change the world. And of course, the boys end up realizing that the hippies' idea of a perfect world is not exactly the one we have now, or the one that's, you know, realistic, right? The boys try to explain to the hippies that they got to do something. You know, even Stan gets up on stage, right? And he's all like, hello, we've been sitting here doing nothing. Don't you think sitting around getting high for 9 days and not contribute anything to society, don't you think that's actually worse? He's right. But they're like, no, we're trying to show that we don't need corporations. We don't need to suck on their teat, Joe, by showing love and respect for each other. And that's a great way of thinking about it. I get that notion. But realistically, the corporations know, guess what? Those people eventually are going to have to go home.
Yeah.
And you're going to be right back to where you were.
Yeah.
So, like, unless, like, it went on for years, it's not realistic.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, unfortunately, in that change. If you want to make real change, stop buying from those companies and support other local companies or other people you know that make the same products and shit.
Right.
And then boost them up, and then that way you know where your money's going toward. If you really are going to say, I'm not going to live. Now, if you don't give a fuck, then yeah, like, like a lot of us where it's like, whatever, like I'm just going to buy what I want to buy, then do that too.
Well, we saw what happens when you do that at the end of something Walmart This Way Comes.
Well, I mean, to an extent. I mean, there's people. Yeah, no,
being-
I know you. I'm just saying, but to an extent, yes and no, because there are, of course, still local shops that are supported by friends and family, but they're not going to like get bigger like that. They're just in that city, that town, or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. No, and I totally get it. Support your local independent business, especially wrestling.
Especially comics. Support them.
Yeah, comics. Hell yeah.
Video games. Support them. But there is a funny part I want to jump to where it's a conversation between Sharon and Randy. And Sharon and Randy are discussing the fact that Stan is actually heading to the festival. And they're like, Randy's like, what's gotten into him? And Sharon's like, oh, don't you remember being his age? And then they go to a flashback. And we kind of get an early, I guess, little picture here of what Randy and Sharon looked like back in the day.
Sharon, have you seen Stan?
He went with his friends to that music festival.
Oh, Jesus, what has gotten into that kid?
Now, Randy, we were the same way once, too. Don't forget that we were both considered hippies back in the 60s.
Yeah, but when we did it, we actually stood for something. I mean, remember Woodstock, Sharon? We actually did something there.
No, they didn't.
Woo! Party! Woo!
Woohoo!
Oh, woo! Oh!
You ate too much acid, man!
I like the sixth part. Dad?
Oh, my God. Our son is with those people.
Stan! Stan!
Stan!
That's a good one. That's a good clip. Cartman's in jail. And unfortunately, his prediction comes correct. Come to fruition. It becomes a reality, Joe, as thousands upon thousands of hippies have taken over the town. Even so much so, Mayor McDaniels attempts suicide. I don't know how she survived this. And the imagery used to show her suicide attempt as well is very... I wasn't even going to say grotesque. It just doesn't match it up with the head wound. Because I analyzed where she gets shot, and it looks like it's teeth splatters. Does that make sense? Like, it looks like she shoots her mouth and teeth splatters on the wall. But then, like, when they go to her head wound later, it's, like, wrapped around her cranium. Maybe I overanalyzed this too much. I don't know. But we're going to go ahead and I'll jump to that scene, Joe, and you tell me if I'm right or wrong here. I want to see what you think. Okay, watch. She picked up the gun. She points the gun at her temple there. It's at her temple. And when she shoots, do you see the teeth there? Like right here?
See,
here. And here, and those look like teeth here. And then this looks like mouth and brain or whatever that would be. But like this looks like it would come from your mouth.
I thought it was shattered skull and brain matter.
Oh, shattered skull and brain matter.
From the exit.
Probably correct. You are probably correct. I guess you're correct there. That makes more sense.
Not to be a ballistics expert. But...
I guess you're correct. I'm wrong. I'm sorry.
No need to be sorry. You were incorrect, not wrong. There's a difference.
Oh my God, it's Russell Crowe.
Sorry.
Oh my God, it's Russell Crowe.
Oh my God, it's Russell Crowe.
Oh my God, it's Russell Crowe!
Anyway.
I would like to point out right before the mayor blows her brains out, when they show Randy trying it, like he passes out. He gets like, but it's not like he's enjoying the high. Like, is this maybe what got him back on that integrity and made him want some of that medicinal fried chicken?
Oh, that's an interesting point. Like that he like, cause well, yeah, he really. I guess up until this point, he really didn't. Like he wasn't really trying to partake in drugs that way, was he?
No, he didn't. And like even in this, it's almost like it's uh sickening or caustic to him, and he's like, oh, kind of coughing.
Right, right. Okay, so let me see that. Let's pull that up here.
Stan! Stan! I need to get through, please!
Randy, you gotta get out of here. They just trampled Miss Farkle to death. It's too dangerous.
My son is in there!
My son's in there!
Stan! Stan! Stan!
Hey, chill, man. It's all good.
Okay.
Have some water laced with acid.
That it? All right. So following that, now the town, as we've mentioned, realized that they fucked up, dude. So they're gonna go ask Eric Cartman for help.
Sheila definitely doesn't look happy about it either in that screen cap anyway. Like she has a cross-ass look on her.
Oh, she's upset.
Hi, Eric. How's it going?
Great. I love crapping in a toilet with no rim on it.
Eric, you were right. About the hippies. Could you get rid of them for us now?
Let me guess. They've started a hippie jam band music festival.
We need you to take care of them, Eric. They're out of control.
Forget it.
Please, some of our kids are in there. We should have listened to you earlier.
Yeah, we apologize.
Please.
You apologize.
Don't let them ruin our town.
It's too late. Even if I did agree to help, there's too many of them now.
We know you can do it, Eric. You're smart. Well, you're the smartest kid in school, okay? We're just asking you to try. The whole town even got together and baked you a cake.
Don't think that you can buy me with presents. Unless, of course, it's the new Tonka radio-controlled play bulldozer.
Yeah, okay.
It's yours.
It's
I
yours.
want the batteries for it, too. And I get to drive it around in the school parking lot.
Fine.
Anything else?
Yes. Kyle doesn't get to have one. Ever. And he has to watch me drive mine around the school parking lot and get super jealous.
Well, we can promise not to buy one for Kyle, but we can't make him watch you play them. Oh, yes, fine. We'll force Kyle to watch you.
All right, fine. But now listen up and listen good. I've never tried to get rid of this many hippies before. So I'm gonna need every resource this town has. And even if I don't succeed, and it's 1,000,000 to 1 shot that I will, I still get the Tonka radio control bulldozer and get to play with it in the school parking lot where Kyle has to watch me and be super jealous because he didn't have one. Are we clear?
As they head into day 6 here, are we clear? Okay, so first off, which I thought was really funny in this scene with Cartman. First off, kudos to him to make sure he got the fucking batteries, right? Because as kids, you always get bullshit and you never get the fucking batteries. It's like, Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday. And you're like, oh my God, that's great gift. Oh, but I gotta wait till tomorrow because nothing's open and I need batteries.
Right, what the
Right? I can't even go out and enjoy this Christmas present. You want me to get the fuck out of the house, but I can't go get the fuck out of the house because I ain't got no goddamn battery. No battery.
Right, I would go outside if someone had bought the damn batteries.
You can tell that's a trigger moment for me with the batteries. But I also like the fact that he makes sure that Kyle has to watch him, and no matter what, even if he fails at this, you still have to buy a jacket check. You can never buy.
And Kyle still has to watch me.
Kyle can never have one. He still has to watch him. That's right. And Kyle can never have one ever. It would have just been better. Just a little cream on top. By the way, you gotta buy Stan and Kenny one, and Stan and Kenny can never let Kyle play with it either.
Right.
So the festival gets out of control basically at this point in day 6, right? Day 6, day 9, over 500,000 people are now in South Park, right? Declaring it hippie capital of the world. Now, as the townspeople panic and the hippie population grows, they decide to have a town hall meeting now to try and come up with a way to get rid of the hippies. Now, Cartman has devised a way that he's created a drill, if you will. It's like I don't know what it's made out of, but it's got different elements, different boosters, whatever you want to call it. He comes up with an idea that they're going to drive to the stage and they're going to insert a Slayer CD into the stereo, as hippies cannot stand heavy metal. And I gotta say, as a quote-unquote hippie, I've been called, I don't mind metal music as long as I can like understand what they're saying, the words. I'm not into screamo. Slayer is not too bad. I don't hate Slayer. I wouldn't even categorize Slayer as like death metal. It's just metal. You know what I mean? So like I could get down with some Slayer. What about you, Joe?
Yeah, no, I can definitely get down with some Slayer, and sometimes I can get down with some screamo, but it's like usually if they're technically proficient on like the instruments and stuff.
The only band that I've ever really like seen, there was a band out here in Arizona, and I forget the name, but the lead singer was also the keyboardist, and he played like 80s synth lines. So, and instead of like deep screaming, it was more high pitched, like screaming. So I was like, okay, that's fine. Like I'm okay with that because, like, you know, whatever. But
Yeah.
like, it's the whole. I'm like, all right, bro. Like I'm not into that. So I don't. I mean, it's an art form. I get it, but I'm not.
Yeah.
I think I told you about the time when I was living in Denver. I had what is it? The guy across the hall. He was a death metal singer. And like one night, him and his buddy were, you know, maybe recording in his apartment or whatever, bro. And it was like 12:30, 1 o'clock, and I had to work the next day. Fortunately, I had a good relationship with them, so I knocked on the door and I was like, "Hey, bro, like it's it's a little late, my dude. Like I can hear you." And I was like, and to be frank, it sounds like somebody's dying. I was like, I gotta sleep, like. And the guy, and the other guy goes, "Thanks for the compliment." I was like,
yeah, I was just, bro, did he just say we sounded like we were dying? Fuck yeah.
I was like, it sounds like someone's dying. And like the other guy just kind of was like, oh, all right, cool. I was like, he's like, all right, we'll keep it down. Sorry. And I was like, yeah, no problem. But I'm not really big in it. But apparently these hippies here, the prototypical hippies, don't like heavy metal music because it'll force them to disperse. So Cartman has to come up with a crew. He needs a scientist, he needs an engineer, and he needs a black man to take the fall just in case something goes wrong. First off, why weren't the Tolkiens here? Like, I don't understand. Where was their family? How come they're not involved? Especially because Tolkien's going to be a part of the very next episode. In Wing. So it's like you know the blacks are there in town, right? So it's like, where were they? We also saw them when Kobe Bryant and the rest and all the other black celebrities came to town, right? So like where were they? How come they're not at the freaking thing? Why aren't they at the town hall meeting?
I don't know. Maybe they live far enough on the outskirts of town, or maybe they're rich enough that
They left
town. Probably, yeah.
They got out of town.
Yeah, either that or they were already on vacation. Yeah, it's
well, Chef's that guy. Chef's the other guy is basically.
He's always that guy, and much like the general, Cartman has never heard of the Emancipation Proclamation.
Never heard of the Emancipation Proclamation.
I don't listen to him.
Hip hop, yeah. You said Windows 95 was gonna be better. Windows 95 is better. It's got a whole litany of gets blown off. Go back and listen to South Park season 3 reviews. It's in there. The movie review. We did it. Cartman's crew drills through the crowd. We're gonna try to hurry up along this episode as we're kind of going on tangents here. All right, so before we get to Cartman and the crew drilling into the crowd, I want to go to them saying their goodbyes. It's a good moment here. As they're all saying their goodbyes, I want to point something out about Cartman because I don't understand it here. All right, so let me go ahead and I'm going to pull this up.
Well,
Randy to Sharon.
Guess this is it, Sharon.
Please, save our boy, Randy. Butters, if anything happens to Mommy, I want you to be a good boy.
I will, Mom.
Now, don't cry, ladies. Everything's gonna be
Butter's
fine.
mom was the engineer.
I don't want you to worry about me, Clyde
Clyde.
Hey, you're the best stuffed animal I ever had.
Where's his fucking mom?
Doesn't matter.
Where's his mom? She's not even in the crowd.
Okay, fair enough.
Her son went to jail? Where's his mom? The whole episode is what I've been. I was watching this again. I was like, where's his fucking mom?
Getting railed. I don't know. High on crack.
Maybe she's been hanging out with the hippies, getting fucking fucked up in the asshole, making more Eric Cartmans. I don't know. She's a dude.
That possibly too.
Is she a dude? We don't know.
She's hermaphrodite, I thought.
Hermaphrodite, yeah. So she couldn't.
I don't know.
She didn't consummate. She didn't actually have Eric, right? Or did she?
Right. Who is Eric Cartman's mother?
Oh, God damn it. You can go back and listen to that review as well as getting to this episode now, the remainder of this episode. They drill through the crowd now, Joe. They're drilling, and the drill breaks down. And of course, no, Chef, I'm not going to let you go outside. I didn't volunteer. Okay, Chef, go. So Chef has to go and sacrifice himself and turn on the backup generator, the boosters or whatever it is. And they boost through the crowd, getting to the stage, putting the Slayer CD in, and the crowd disperses as Cartman predicted. And we saw that Mary McDaniels was okay. Apparently she survived in their war room. I like how all of a sudden they have like this war room in South Park that just got created out of nowhere. It's got like high-tech like radars and sonograms and stuff like that. Stuff you'd see like at the Pentagon or something like that. I'm just like, what is going on here? So unfortunately for the hippies, their hippie jam's over. And for Kyle, of course, he had to watch Eric play. I mean, right? I mean, that was the deal. If Eric Cartman saved the day, if Eric Cartman, even if he failed, he still got it. Even if he didn't, but it's true. Even if he didn't, he still got it. But in his case, he did.
Dad!
Dad! I'm alive!
Chef's alive for now.
Hold it right there, Kyle.
Oh, Cartman, we aren't gonna be hippies anymore. You don't have to kill us.
Kill you? Oh no, I have much bigger plans for you, Kyle. Oh man, this is awesome! Whee! Oh, here, Kyle, you want to play with it a little while? Oh, psych, you don't get to. I'll check it out, cute.
South Park: The Return of Chef takes place next season, right? Episode 10. Mm-hmm. Let's cross-reference here. So we've got the character of Chef on South Park, right? Chef, Jerome, Chef, right? Of course, we know that Chef was killed off because of the Trapped in the Closet episode due to its portrayal of Scientology, correct? Mm-hmm. And when is the Scientology episode?
It's towards the end of this season.
Exactly. So it's coming up. My question though is, in this whole, the reason why I'm asking this is we're listening to the sound bites. Is that Chef actually sound biting, or like did he come in and voice record this, or did they grab sound bites from a previous episode? And was there already starting to be a fallout?
I don't think there was a fallout. I thought there was a stroke or something. And because there's the whole, and I know you know this, and I know there are listeners that are really well aware of this. There's the whole belief and theory out there that Isaac Hayes wasn't the one to quit South Park, that Scientology did it for him. And
Little Club.
Yeah, and there's also a lot of belief out there that because Isaac Hayes had his stroke or whatever, that there was really no way he could have been cognizant or coherent enough to quit on his own accord and stuff. And
well, the thing is, he doesn't have the stroke until January of next year, so next season is when he
right. So maybe he was just in failing health at this point, and maybe that's why he sounds off. It's like, hey, I'm not feeling well. Maybe I can only do a couple lines.
Well, I guess you'll be able to tell us writing some trivia, right? Well, what's the very first thing the trivia says here on Die Hippie Die? You like the segue here? Check this out.
This is the final episode in which Isaac Hayes recorded new dialogue for Chef. It is, ironically enough, Chef's last line recorded is "I'm alive."
Yep. So you called it there. I guess maybe he did have some sort of health issues at the time already, and like they just only had him come in record a couple things.
Maybe. Cartman still expresses his strong hatred for hippies. His first mention of hating them was in Weight Game 4000. A statue in the old lady's garden at the beginning of the episode looks similar to a statue that we see much later in the Garden of Betrayal. Mr. Slave is seen standing next to Mrs. Garrison in this episode, despite the two having broken up in Mr. Garrison's fancy new vagina.
He's going to betray you. He told that to someone else as well. Hey, thank
What?
you.
Get the fuck out of my garden.
Hey, fuck you again. Thank you again. Anyway, how about some pop culture? You want to break that down as well, since we only have a little bit there as well?
Sure can. Cartman regards Slayer as a death metal band. We touched on this a little earlier. Slayer is actually thrash metal band and belongs to the big four, along with Metallica, Megadeth, and Anthrax.
Which I like
Metallica
all of them.
and all four are fucking awesome. Metallica and Motorhead are also parodied and referenced in this episode on the computer screen when Cartman uploads Raining Blood.
Bow down to the king.
Metallica is called Betray the Cruise, and the song Ride the Lightning from the album of the same name is parodied as Ride the Thunder. Motorhead is referenced as Motorface, and the song Death or Glory from the album Bastards is parodied and called Death from Behind.
I was going to say, this is basically answers my question about the drill.
Yep, this is a parody of the disaster movies such as Armageddon and The Core. Maybe a little. It came out a couple years prior to that. I want to say late 90s, early aughts. It's very Journey to the Center of the Earth-ish.
I mean, I've seen Armageddon. I think everybody probably in our age group has seen Armageddon. And then, because I mean, wasn't that with
Bruce Willis and Ben Affleck?
You know what? You want to know why Ben Affleck was good in that movie? Because he didn't have a lot of fucking lines.
Right. Yeah, The Core was definitely in the same vein, even down to the fact of using a nuke to save the earth. The Hippie Jam Festival may be a satire of Woodstock, which was actually referenced elsewhere in the episode. The crowd of 500,000 at Woodstock is still one of the biggest.
What did they do?
Say again?
What did they do?
They listened to a lot of. They did absolutely nothing. They listened to music, did a lot.
There was a Woodstock. I mean, I know I've seen Woodstock '99. That was did you see the documentary on HBO?
Yeah.
That's what I think I'm talking about. Woodstock '99. Peace, love, and rage.
Yeah, because like that's the one where the Beastie Boys like all but stop their set because they see some woman getting assaulted and they're like, fuck that shit. That's not cool. Rest in peace, MCA.
Woodstock '99.
Yeah, so Cartman's hip.
That didn't happen at the original Woodstock. Then we don't know. Maybe I don't know.
It may have. I'm sure people got raped and shit at the first Woodstock too. I don't know. I'm not gonna. I'm
speculate.
Sure I'm not gonna speculate.
You should speculate though.
For the third time, Cartman's hippie extermination outfit looks like the outfit from Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters. I was thinking more Dale Gribble, but go ahead.
Man, he definitely looks like that too. The Drum Man statue in the Hippie Jam Festival is definitely a reference to Burning Man. The episode parodies common plots of horror movies where the protagonist tries to defend their town against some kind of evil or some other monster, only to be laughed at and then like, hey, dude, we need your help. The hippies constantly refer to corporations and Cartman as Little Eichmanns. This is a reference to Adolf Eichmann, a Nazi lieutenant colonel who was one of the major organizers of the Holocaust. The usage of the phrase is a reference to Ward Churchill's controversial essay on the justice of roasting chickens, where he used the phrase to refer to the victims of the 9/11 attacks. One of the keyboards on the hippie music stage says Gorg. This is a parody of the manufacturer Korg, who makes some amazing fucking keyboards. Yeah, they are. Kyle is seen wearing a Che Guevara shirt. He, of course, is a Argentinian Marxist revolutionary. A blonde female hippie can be seeing a shirt that says fish spelled out properly, which of course is a reference to the jam band Phish, Phish.
Right. That is your pop culture, your trivia, and your full recap. Joe, did you like this episode?
Oh yeah, no, it's not a top 10 for me, but it's definitely top 30 or so. It's a funny ass episode. It's one of their more well done parodies, and anytime they go into a really Cartman heavy episode, it's really funny. And this was as over the top as the Passion of the Jew was, without being nearly as, I guess, offensive or
to religion, right, or something like that.
Without it being so anti-Semitic.
But some might say that being a hippie is a religion, Joe. What would you say to them?
I don't know if it's definitely a way of life. I don't know if I would qualify as a religion, as they don't have a deity or anything like that.
Oh, okay.
Like,
ladies and gentlemen,
because
here's what I thought of the episode.
No.
Here's what I thought of the episode. Top 10. Cartman, the man. Okay? Because obviously they need him. And if they just listened to him from the beginning, this wouldn't have happened. This is now 2 times Cartman has proven in this show, you don't mess with him. First time, when he made Scott Tenorman eat his mother, or technically father and stepmother. I don't know. He made them eat them. Okay? That was the first time. Second time, right here, showing that he did not give a shit about killing a lot of the hippies. And he was not, and he knew all along that he had to protect everybody from the hippies. Just saying. We also haven't seen a lot of hippies in South Park since. So
we have not. He did his job.
So Cartman did his job, and as well as they probably, if there ever was a problem, they'd probably believe him this time. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for another edition.
Suck my balls.
Suck my balls.
Suck my balls.
Suck my balls. Suck my balls. I'm your host, Nahid. I came to beat me, guys. I have the air is so very, very dry because it's like 110 degrees right now every day. Went outside today in my jeans while I worked for like 5 hours. It was hot. And I was like, can I wear shorts next time? The guy was like, you can wear whatever you want, bro. I was like, oh, shit, I should wear shorts. Ladies and gentlemen, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Matthew_Schaffer. You can also check us out as a podcast by going linktr.ee/SouthParkPod, or just type in Suck My Balls Pod on Twitter and Instagram as well. Joe. Where can the people find you? Where can the people understand Dirty Joe Vernola?
June 24th through 26th, I will be at Lucha Libre and Laughs. They will be at the Oriental Theater Friday night, the 24th. Effie will be on that show, as well as some other big name talent, including New Japan Pro Wrestling's Royce Isaacs. And then July 9th, we will be at Brewability and Pizzability. Then July 10th will be the Dab City Meltdown. You can get tickets for the Dab City Meltdown right now at the RoxyDenver.com.
Like actual wax dab?
Yeah, well, Dab City Meltdown. So, like, that's the name of the wrestling show. And we are getting a lot of the hookup from Apothecary Farms with locations in Oklahoma, Denver, and Colorado Springs.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can check us out next week on another edition of Suck My Balls. Don't forget to check us out on YouTube. We're catching up and dropping up the reviews. Our last couple videos are up there. Basically, here's what happened. I'm going to tell you the truth, okay? Somebody went on our YouTube the last time I posted that, somebody sent us a message. Yes, that's what it was. Somebody sent me a message in one of the Facebook groups again, and they were like, "Hey man, I just want to let you know I checked out your podcast and I've been binge watching it." And then we got a new subscriber on YouTube, and I told you guys on the last episode with Scoop, if we could just get to 100 subscribers, then we'd have our own freaking URL, and then I'll upload more videos. But you know what? One guy subscribed, so I put up a video. And then another guy subscribed, so I put up another video. So there's a couple of videos up there right now if you guys are interested, where we review COVID Part 2, myself and Joe, as well as Season 25, Episode 3, Episode 4, Back to the Cold War is up, along with all of the first 4 episodes of Season 25. Joe and myself will also have Season 25's Episode 5 up later on that channel as well. All right, that's it. That's all I got today. I'm done. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next time on another edition of Sucking People's Balls. No, Suck My Balls. That's the name of our podcast. See you next time. Suck My Balls. Subscribe. Tell your friends. Tell your mom. Tell your dad. Tell your uncle. Tell your brother. Tell your sister. Tell some guy named Joe who's sitting out on the street. Could be Joe. Could be Henry. Could be Ian. Could be Bill. I don't know. Tell him I said hi. Go there. I'm Matt Schaefer. Goodbye. Shout out to Ethan. I'll miss Ian.